Hey,
What's going on, Casey?
What's going on? We are back here with Jon Schieszer, comedian from the Kansas City area.
Yes. Proud Kansas Cityan.
That's right. We met in California. We met at the Lens.
We met here.
In KC.
Damn it. God damn it.
That's
I knew
right.
you when you moved to California already.
That's right. Because you were in California. You were in San Diego, and then you moved back to, because you were in LA, then San Diego, then back to LA.
Back to LA, yep.
And then now in
Dipped
Kansas
down there
City.
for 2 years. But I remember we did some shows down in San Diego together.
Yeah. Well, and also the first time I ever
Zach Smith was there.
featured at Stanford's was for your show. You hooked Zach and Wes and Scott and I think all up to
nice. Okay.
feature for your weekend that you were headlining there. And I got booked to feature a bunch of other times at Stanford's, but that was the only time I actually got to perform for the weekend I was booked, because there was always someone else that was booked, strangely enough, whenever I got to a feature week.
We learned a lot of lessons that just because it's in writing, in an email, and validated by an owner doesn't mean it's going to happen.
And you fill out a W-2. Yeah.
Just because they pay you a check doesn't mean you're going to be able to cash it.
Yes,
you know?
that's another.
I did a guest spot on your show. That's how we met.
Man, and that was at the very, very end. And we're talking about Stanford and Sons for you viewers and listeners.
Yeah, not around Kansas City anymore. R.I.P. The last one was downtown.
That
right?
was the one we did a show with Scott Schaefer, and that was the only time I was embarrassed that I invited people out, because the show at one point it was like at an old Tiger bar down here on like Grand, and they had an arcade off to the stage about 10 feet. At one point, the cook comes out. When I say cook, they had a fryer and a microwave in the back. He comes out, he starts playing NBA Jam, and I go, well, someone order some chicken strips so this guy can stop playing the video game.
Boom, shakalaka, right in the middle.
My set. It was, but anyway, they both died as well as that club did about a year later. Rest.
There were also some, I think there were a fair amount of crimes that happened at that location. Yeah. I think there were some cocaine and some guns.
The cops were called a few times,
The infamous, the cleaners got robbed at 4 a.m. and had to defend themselves with guns incident. Yeah. The cleaning crew came in at 5 a.m. and got robbed.
That place was sticky. Yeah. There was never a cleaning crew.
I was going to say, the carpet definitely hadn't been changed in 20 or 30 years. But, that's crazy. Like, we've all survived. I mean, we more or less from that, like, that's the worst case scenario from an entertainment standpoint. So just that's our boot camp.
Oh, 100%. And I've totally romanticized that set that I did there that night. And I saw some strange things.
But it's like,
heard some strange things.
I can't imagine.
No program director or boss or anyone could ever be as horrible of a person as Craig Glazier was.
That's true. I remember when I got the phone call to MC for Big Weekend.
And he took pride in that. People think, oh, you're talking shit on Dead Man. No. He would want you to say that. He took pride in his sleaziness.
He did. He was like honest with me. He's just like, yeah, Patrick, gonna have you MC Tom Arnold this weekend. Only gonna pay you $75, but it's Tom Arnold. And it's like, all right. And then, so it was $75 to MC 5 shows. To drive out to the fucking Legends.
You almost covered your gas.
3 days,
covered your gas.
And then, whatever. And it was fun. And then Tom Arnold he was a lunatic, that guy. But he fit right in with Craig and everyone else there at Stanford's.
We bonded over cocaine back in '88.
I
introduced him to Roseanne.
Did he ever offer you cocaine or anything?
No,
he never
I
did
missed
for me.
that. So I didn't start there until 2001, but I definitely heard all the stories like, oh, do you want coke or do you want money or coke? And that whole thing. Yeah. And I wasn't convinced that a lot of those features in that era weren't just drug mules for him, like as they would go to Columbus and stuff. Because I was like, these people aren't that funny. How are they getting all this road work? I'm like, I wonder what's going on. Just an inside theory. But
there was a guy
allegedly.
There was a guy that worked at the Legends spot that was like their janitor that they had him clean up and stuff, and then he would MC some shows and stuff. But he moved to Kansas City to work for the Glaziers, and it's like, dude, you're not making good decisions.
That's not.
This is not the move. You want to be a comic, cool, man, but this is not the way. Do not clean shit for the Glazers because they're not going to give you any money.
When things don't make sense like that, sometimes I'll just step back and just say, how bad was that guy's life before he got here? Hey, maybe that was maybe
he gave his life some purpose and some structure.
He's got drug connections now.
Yeah.
He's a big wig from, he's probably from McAllen, Kansas or something.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then, there were lots of characters that we met there.
And the great ones too. Tim Gaither, Chris Porter. This was back when I was starting.
Yeah,
those guys
Nikki
were the
Glaser.
MCs back
Yeah.
then. Nikki Glaser, yep. There's some great pictures from like 2008, 2009 where it's just random. Yeah, like I think
You guys and like Jesse Turney and
Jesse Turney doing big things in Lee Summit now. Pink Elephant, the
That's
Honky
right.
Tonk. God damn it, that's not the name of it. Anyway,
he's got the Rusty Spur.
Rusty Spur. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I've been to both. They're great. They're great venues.
They are, yeah, and like
Bars.
I've gone to at least some. I branched out there more. Like it's easy in Kansas City to like get locked into one area and be like, oh, I don't want to fucking go out south, or I don't want to go to Lee Summit. But Lee Summit, they're opening more and more stuff out there. Like there is more stuff
People
to do.
come
It's nice,
and they're ready to watch comedy.
Yeah.
They're not bamboozled. They know what they're getting into, and they pay.
Yeah, they do that as well.
People have money in that area too. You know? Yeah. It's like
A lot of
Sweet
these
good shit in
places
Lee
like
Summit.
have food and booze, so the amount of money that the venue is willing to give producers to pay comics is just going to be more because they're going to make a lot of money.
Oh, totally.
And the comics here are great. So when the good show happens, hey, we were at Pink Elephant, this great show. You know, people talk about it. The name of your venue is going to come up more often in conversation. So it's nice to see the venues actually seeing the value in that. You know, and actually not balking at you want money? He's like, yeah, we want money. We're putting on a 2-hour show. Oh, yeah, no, here's the money.
People in suburbs go out in packs. It's like a group of 8. It's a group of 10. And
it's a whole thing.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like a night out. And yeah, everyone in Lee Summit they're very nice people too.
Yeah.
Everyone's super nice.
I grew up in Raytown, for Christ's sake. I fucks with everybody in Kansas City.
The first place I bought weed when it was legal was in Lee Summit because that was the first dispensary that opened up was in Lee Summit. I think it was a Fresh Green. I want to say I had to wait outside for like 2.5 hours.
But you felt the smile. Wearing
Oh yeah,
smile.
I was very happy to spend $60 on that eighth of weed.
It's
that I
crazy.
waited 2.5
It's like
hours in
your
line
high
for.
was wearing off as you were getting ready to purchase high legally for the first time.
And I will say that sometimes, we call it Weed Wednesday. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It's really every day is Weed Wednesday.
In your heart.
As far as I'm concerned. But we like to try out the products, and this is a good time to talk about Nug Life. Because I remember, again, when we first met at Stanford's, I think I bought a green Nug Life shirt, and I wore it at a Stanford's comedy competition. I did not win. I believe I got third place. Lost to Brad Ellis and Grasshopper. Not like it's not. I've moved on.
Grasshopper's a last name or a
No, I
nickname?
saw
name.
Grasshopper. He runs a mic on Main Street at the Main Street Taps on like 2 Fridays a month. He's
Yeah.
down there DJing, singing songs, crushing.
Yeah,
it.
he was always like playing like in like cover bands and stuff. That was kind of how he made his living. But he was like, he was a local comic here. Like it was him and Brad Ellis would work together a lot. And yeah, I don't know if Hopper's doing comedy much.
No,
these days
he
at
was
all.
just music.
Just music.
Yep, still the same great guy though. Nice guy.
And yeah, I know like Brad's still doing comedy too. I think I saw him a little while back. I randomly ran into
I see his
him.
name up on flyers and around.
Yeah, so yeah, everyone's still out there doing the damn thing, but we've tried some stuff that was stronger on these in the past. These are from Franklin Stash House, and like, I don't need to let you guys try those because I have tried them both already before.
You're going to let us?
Yeah. So it's like, I like these.
Lemonade or fruit punch?
And these
Fruit
are
punch.
like, these are Kansas City brands. So it's like Franklin Stash House. They make the weed stuff, but like James Lemonade is like a known brand, right? Like people know
drank
James
one
Lemonade.
yesterday.
Yeah. So it's like, it's fun that you can buy it with weed. And I like this one here. These are not from Franklin Stash House. These are called Bump, which reminds me of doing
that's pretty
cocaine,
good.
which is fun.
That kind of tastes like
Like a
they got
Hawaiian
like a
punch.
raspberry in there. Little raspberry in there. That's good.
And the fun thing about these, which are just called
Fruit
Bump.
punch.
Perfectly tart.
So what's this here?
These are 30 milligram pills.
Okay.
And
So
It's just like
60, 90, 120, 50.
they come 300 in there, so it's like I've already had some.
It's 210 milligrams plus 20.
But the fun thing about this is that it's weed, and like you get to have the fun of popping pills, which I think is fun.
I've never been a pill guy. Thank
I've
God.
never felt
I
most like Wiz Khalifa. And like, I feel
No, I went through a phase, high school-ish age, where I really liked to pop hydrocodones, and it is fun to pop pills. Pills are fun.
Oh, they even got them stamped.
They're
Look at that. That's
addictive,
adorable.
But these are not. These are just
So how many are they again?
1906.
So each one of these little pills is going to have 30 milligrams of THC.
Is 3 too many? I
No, man, you get in there.
think 3 will be good.
And they say 1906 on them. I don't know what those numbers mean. Do they all say 1906?
I'll do this. I'll just do one for now.
That's probably the year they made pot
Start off
illegal.
wrong.
or something.
Can I take one home to Alex?
Yeah.
All right.
This is sick.
I'm taking the trolley home. This is great. A good decision on me.
And it's like, this is the fun thing is like these don't taste like anything.
Is this just an extra? Or was that the one you were taking?
Were
you taking that one home?
Do this as like a ritual.
Oh, we were doing cheers?
Yeah.
Here, if that's an extra, you can have it. I already had 3.
Cheers, everyone.
Again, the flavor on this is really good.
A little
I'd
bit
recommend
of
this on the golf course. You know,
See, that's what it would be great for.
and no alcohol.
after you bogey your first drive off the first tee.
And like 20 milligrams is like pretty mild. So like that's enough to definitely keep doing stuff and be a productive member of society.
It's a little tart, and you can taste the weed. You want to know what this would be perfect in? An iced tea for a weed Arnold Palmer. Because the herbaceousness would kind of be masked by the tea.
Yeah.
And the lemon, it's very lemony. Like, you know, whenever your grandma like made homemade lemonade, but it was from like the lemon juice
real stuff.
bottles, like not fresh squeeze.
Oh,
fresh squeeze, but like the bottles with sugar and water.
No, my grandma
That's
loved
what
me a little bit more. We had fresh.
Well, we did that sometimes too. So like, you're not better than me or anything. But that's what this tastes like. I'm obsessed.
Oh, imagine you get a CBD THC tea, which they have those blends as well. You slam that together with this amazing product from the legendary THC infused fruit punch. Always, what was the brand on this?
Oh, Franklin Stash House.
Franklin Stash House.
These are perfect, like beginners, like to build a little tiki mocktail. If you are California sober, which I am obsessed. Where did you get these?
So like they have these at I think I got these at a From the Earth.
Okay.
Which like there's one here by the
I'm
T-Mobile
gonna walk
Center.
out the studio, maybe just go by it.
And I think I got these at the one on like Southwest Boulevard, but I think they'll have the same stuff. But like I think they're also at all the Nature Meds, and Franklin Stash House also makes like some pre-rolls and stuff. They have one called Kush Kingdom, which is great. You know, I love the Kansas City branding.
Now. We're in the Nug Life right now.
I took a picture of the table and it looks nuts.
Yeah, it's all dolled out.
That's so good.
Yeah, this Nug Life though we started in Kansas City back in 2001, and that was
way before weed was like legal in all kinds of places.
It was a skateboard brand. We had like a skate team. We put out some videos and things. This was around 2004, 2005 at that point, which was hilarious now because all those kids are 30 something, you know, they're like not 17 anymore. They have 17-year-old kids now.
Yeah, you said like what one of your homies had like a shirt, like a picture of like one of their little kids and like a Nug Life hat or a shirt.
We were
or something.
set up at the Kansas City Mocana Festival the other weekend, and this lady came. Oh my gosh, Nug Life! My son just turned 16. I have a baby picture with him in a Nug Life hat, and we all laughed, and she left, and someone's like, "Man, she's a pretty bad parent." I was like, that's funny. But now, then when I got to LA, I was selling them kind of single to people who'd want them, underground cannabis industry, and then giving a lot to
because like there was like weed culture there for sure,
definitely. And then that was when I stopped calling like nuggets kind bud. That was a thing way back when in Kansas or around here. If you had weed that just wasn't smashed, it was called kind bud. Didn't even matter if it was shitty. If it wasn't smashed, it just meant it was better than prying seeds out of like some stemmed up.
Yeah.
So like that, that was the atmosphere of marijuana at that time.
Yeah.
And so I moved back to Kansas City a couple years ago. Brian Scott, who runs this with me, DJ Clockwork, great DJ also. You may have seen him at Buzzard Beach many times over the years.
Might not remember seeing him,
but
at
he got.
Beach.
I actually, he
came back from Breckenridge.
I bet he was there, but I don't remember.
100%. No, he's great. And then so once we got to town, it just made it easier to like get the website revamped, and so we kind of relaunched 2 years ago, and we go around to all the cannabis conventions like. Myself, Scarborough, Manisha Williams are going to be at the Mid-Mocana Festival on 420.
Okay, so that is on 420, and then you told me where it is. So it's like, is it outside of Columbia or it's in Columbia?
Okay, yeah, it's at a airstrip, I believe, southeast of or east of Columbia.
Okay,
and then Paul Wall's the headliner for that event. We'll be on stage between 2 and 3, and then we'll have a Nug Life booth actually here in Kansas City at the 420 Wiz Khalifa show.
Okay, yeah.
So just look for a
big,
bright green, old English Nug Life tent. But yeah, we'll be set up there. But it's been really cool getting everything going again and getting feedback from from the old school
For
people
sure.
that are like, oh my gosh, it's good to see you. And, handing out stickers, putting smiles on people's faces. And it's been, it's taken off really well. It's been really successful so far this year. So we're just trying to lay a solid foundation and just keep building.
Well,
from
and
there.
it's like, and these are like good looking shirts and hats too. Cause it's like, to me, the biggest problem I always had with like, I don't know if you want to call it marijuana apparel, is that it was always super tacky and like it was
super
like
leafy.
marijuana leaves,
Yeah.
peace signs and like tie dye. And it was always people wearing them that I'm like, dude, you are not helping the cause.
Yes.
Like what you are wearing and the way are you behaving right now, you are not helping the marijuana
Their
cause.
hair always looks wet. It's weird.
That's
so
a niche
it's like-
thing. I mean, I saw a lot of those people, and they're like, they take pride in it's my weed suit with my weed tie,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
weed shirt on, with my weed socks and my weed shoes and my weed hat. And,
Too much, dude.
yeah, that's not everyone, and so we do have a few of those shirts too.
Sure.
But no, I like you were saying.
There's a time and a place, but yeah, this is like a shirt that you can like wear out
Much
just to
softer,
like,
yeah. And then people do a double take, and they're like nug, or people think it's say hug. I'm like, yeah, hug
Yeah.
life too. Whatever. It's all good. We
It's
just want
all good.
positive vibes. That's all we're pushing.
That's all it's about. Yeah, exactly.
But we're putting on a few parties this summer in the Crossroads, probably at Mod Gallery.
Okay, cool.
and
That's
so
where you've
we've
done some stuff in the past, right?
Yeah, we brought in a really good reggae ska musician, Chris Murray from LA last summer. Had a great show down there. Brought in some old school, like Studio One, Trojan Records DJs. Played some of that classic reggae music. But just had a great time. So we're going to be throwing a couple of those again this summer.
Do you remember the reggae shows on the Californo's patio?
No,
You don't remember those?
I wasn't in town.
Oh shit! I guess you
Yeah.
wouldn't have been. They were so much fun. They were like $5 to go onto the back patio because Californo's, they would like do weddings and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then they would have reggae shows on the back patio, and it would be more of like buzzard style people hanging out back. I was
out
there.
Yeah, that's why I love the city, because I haven't lived here in 17 years. And when I got back in 2021, I was like, oh wow, this is like a whole new playground here, and different options, different entertainment options.
Yeah.
Just tons of talented people, man. I was really blown away with how much talent there is here, and I don't know if it's just people are in a better mind space. They're less just stressed, less people breathing down your necks like you are on California, in my example.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have this freedom to be like, oh, I did want to spend more time on that hobby, or, become a better writer, or in my case, like thinking up ideas for sketches and being able to call a few people to actually make that happen. Be like, oh, that's a good cameraman. That's a great sound guy. There's some great actors, like the comedians here in town,
For sure.
could totally, play some really funny roles, just in shorts and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Just to start producing content and promoting, just like local talent here. Like,
Yeah.
because coming from California and seeing people that quote make it and stuff, like they're not necessarily good actors.
Making it looks like a million different things as
totally
well.
does.
It's that too.
Yeah.
And also I've known people that look like from the outside, like that guy made it, and you talk to them and they're like, man, I didn't get this. My money's not that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're doing 99% more than everybody that moves here. So just like, you're preaching to the wrong person, man. I got no sympathy for you. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm excited that just to have that possibility to create stuff like that here in town, just with all the talent. And it just seems like every other week I meet someone else that's just a master of some craft. Like, wow.
Yeah, and like it does seem to me that I feel like they're filming more stuff here, and like there is a bigger effort to like have more projects and stuff come into like Kansas and Missouri specifically. But like, yeah, it's like there are so many talented people here, and it's like it would make sense to film stuff here because it's like I don't know, the landscape is so versatile. Like there's so much shit you can do. You can go to a different area, make it look like a city. You can go to this area, make it look like a farm, and they're all 20 minutes apart.
Well, the one thing like Bobby and Carlos were saying after the Bad Friends show was like the history, like, man, these old buildings and like this looks really cool. I'm like, well, they did a good job. They almost tore down a bunch of shit in the 80s and 90s, and they didn't. Luckily, kind of preserve some of that original. Like Kansas City was the last big city, 1920, 1930 that kind of boomed up before you got to San Francisco, and so it was like this. And then the Union Station was essentially your LAX for all the troops coming back from World War II. So everyone came through this city.
Yeah.
So it kind of had this big boom, which was 80 years ago now. But no, it was really interesting though to hear them comment about like, wow, this is really cool, these old buildings. And it's like good vibe around here.
And I'm sure you were the same way. You never really minded traveling or anything, but like when I first moved back here from LA, dude, like I had no problem driving anywhere, where I would just be, my friends be like, I know it's kind of pain in the ass. I'm like, oh no, I'll meet you in Overland Park. No big deal. I can get there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I can drive 20 miles in 15 minutes.
I've stopped on the highway 5 times in 2 years. Yeah. Now I live downtown. I'm usually driving against traffic, but I mean, that's incredible. I've stopped 5 times on the highway trying to go somewhere in 2 years and living here.
Yeah, it doesn't take you an hour to drive 10 miles.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's right. It is growing, and like there is more construction, and it is getting harder to get around in some places.
As long as we don't have sinkholes, do what you got to do.
Oh my God! I mean, can we just get bags of sand or something? Like someone designed like a heavy duty fabric that we could fill with sand and just stuff these billions of dollars worth of damage to cars. I mean, I know you've been victimized from that.
And it's just like, it sucks because it's like you have to now be on full alert all the time when you're driving. If you're not, then you're going to hit one.
My highest level of anxiety is when I see, after rain, you see a pothole and you're like, is that 2 inches or 24 inches? And for that half second, you're like, do I speed over it? Maybe. I've gotten lucky.
Can I drive over it if I get in the other lane?
It's like Kansas City's the city's version of stealing your catalytic converter.
Yes. Which also exists here.
Which is also a problem.
By blowing up your tires.
Yeah. No, someone I know, his idea was that we should fill all the potholes with all the trash that's everywhere. I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just been a mattress leaning against my neighbor's fence for about 9 months.
Well, and then how long can you get a crackhead to stay in a hole for before they're going to want to get out?
That too, yeah.
Or the roadkill.
But no, I'll say this past summer heard multiple people during First Fridays that had just moved to Kansas City from other areas, and they were doing that thing like, don't tell people how great it is here. I'm like, that's this. Now I was like, wait, that went from Austin to Nashville, and like you hear about Denver, and I'm like, so I guess Kansas City's slowly becoming one of those. It's affordable. It's a good place to live. Secrets getting out type of a place.
Yeah. And it is like on lots of those online lists of like places you should move or places you don't think about moving or whatever.
Sure.
It has been on lots of those lately. It feels
think about any one of your friends that come to visit from another city.
Oh yeah.
And when they leave, they're just blown. They're like, this is great.
For sure.
What a great weekend, or what a great couple
I think
days.
they're like pleasant. I don't think they ever go into it thinking that this is going to be like a very fun time. But between me telling them places to go that I can vouch for, so they're not just like coming in and like eating at a McDonald's because it's convenient or whatever. They're like going and doing the things that I believe in, and then they have a great time. And I think it's definitely a surprise, like pleasantly surprised.
You send them to the Green Lady Lounge at midnight, they're just like, wow.
For sure. Shay Charlie, get a crock pot.
And by the way, this shit is great. I don't know if it's the pills, but my mind is sharp. I feel great.
Hell yeah. So the Franklin Stash House, that's the fruit punch, and the Jams lemonade. The bump, I guess is what that's called.
Actually, no.
Which definitely does sound like cocaine.
Yeah.
Should I do a bump of these pills?
Definitely fast acting.
They are fast acting, which is, because it's like, that is the thing with all these too, is just like, the drinks are going to affect you differently than the brownie is, than the gummies are, than the pills are. It's like they all kick in at different times.
Yeah, so the drink loosed it down perfectly.
Yeah, you got to kind of experiment. But
I take my time with the drink.
Before we get out of here, John, let people know about the comedy festival that's going on, how they can get tickets, and all
we got
the details.
The Comedy Crawl in Strawberry Hill, KCK, April 29th, Saturday from 1 p.m. until 5. Well, 1 p.m. to about 6 p.m. But it's 3 shows. It's a bar crawl in Strawberry Hill. 1 p.m. is going to be at the Mockingbird Lounge. 3 p.m. 403 Club. And the 5 p.m. show is at Hillsiders. All 3 blocks apart. So you walk to one, walk to the next, walk to the next. And you can buy individual show tickets. We encourage everyone to get the all 3 show pass, which is $35 on Eventbrite. But showcasing 25 different comedians. We got about 15 headliners, the best of Kansas City kind of up and coming talent. It's going to be a great day. Really excited about it.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to check it out.
So much fun.
Yeah. No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Brittany, what about you? What should you have going on? Shows coming up, or where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at BT from KC. Still patiently awaiting for my WikiFeet page. If my
hint
fans or foes could get started on that, I'd really appreciate it. What about you, Patrick?
Yeah, I would say just follow our show at Brittany and Patrick Show on Instagram, TikTok. Tell people about the show. Tell a friend. Recommend it to a buddy. Give it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. I don't know if you can give stars on YouTube. Maybe you can. I don't think you can.
Figure it out.
That's the thumb up.
Anyway.
I think that's a thumb up and a comment.
Okay, thumb up and a comment.
That's what that is on the YouTube.
That's what we want. So do all those things, and thank you for hanging out with us. Check out the Franklin Stash House products. Check out Nug Life.
Yeah. Check out local comics. We got tons of funny comedians here. Come see a show. I run shows Tuesday nights at Hillsiders and the Casual Animal Brewery also.
Beautiful.
So come on down, Kansas City.
So much fun.
Check them out. Everyone have a good weekend. Thanks, guys.
Mwah.